Hey everybody, this is Karmic Scorpio. I am doing your general read for all of my Taurus signs out there. I hope everybody's doing good. It is Tuesday, and I wanted to do a really quick read before I went to work. I went ahead and pre-shuffled. As you all know, I don't like to shuffle my decks during my readings. I really feel like it just takes up a lot of time. And I know when I personally watch a read, I don't really like to watch people shuffle. But anyway, this is just a general read for all of my Taurus signs out there. If the story fits, it fits. If it doesn't, don't try to make this story fit your situation. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. My first card I have is the Five of Swords. It's in the reverse position. So this tells me that you no longer wish to engage with arguments, the fighting, the pettiness of a situation, Taurus. You are packing up your swords, in so many words. You are no longer wanting to engage with fighting, disagreements, arguing. You are ready to put down your swords and end the conflict. So, I'm going to keep going. Next card is my Two of Swords. It's in the reverse position. Again, I think this is a reflection of the first card that we had. If it were upright, you would be conflicted between two things. Maybe two choices, two situations, two people. And you've also been blind to a situation. But it's in the reverse. So you are no longer blind to a situation anymore, Taurus. I think you have determined your deciding factors with whatever you were conflicted with. You have made a choice, you have decided on your destination, and you are sticking to your choices at this time. My next card I have is my Four was that Wands? Yep. That's my Four of Wands. It's in the reverse position. Upright, this would be a commitment of some kind, a partnership, a relationship. It could have been a marriage. But if you look at this card upright, these two people look really happy together. So it came up in the reverse position though. So that tells me that you are possibly going through a separation at this time, or you have gone through a separation. You're no longer in this commitment or this union, but it doesn't mean that there wasn't happy times to be shared. A lot of time and energy and emotion went into this commitment, Taurus. At one point, you guys were happy. You enjoyed each other's company. You loved one another. This could have been possibly a marriage. I'm picking up on marriage. But, like I said, it's in the reverse position. So, this tells me that you're no longer in this current relationship. But not to say that there wasn't any love there. I'm picking up on a lot, like a very strong soul connection with this person, whoever you were with. There was love in this situation. Next card. It's my Eight of Cups card. And this tells me that a lot of time and effort. You see all these cups. A lot of time and effort, you were working towards building something, building a solid foundation. You are no longer doing this anymore. You have decided to move forward. As you can see, she is moving ahead. She is taking her chances, he or she. you can reverse the energy. He or she has decided to leave the past in the past. Whatever has happened, you have given it your all, and at the end of the day, you really tried to make this situation work. But for whatever reason, the situation is no longer in place. The union is no longer solid. So you have decided to move forward, move ahead, and, weigh out your other options. The only way is forward from here, Taurus. There's no sense in looking back, especially if this is no longer a solid commitment. And the final card of the read is the World card. And the World is pretty self-explanatory. The World is the ending of cycles, and it's in the upright position. So this tells me you are ready to end this cycle. You have thought about it, you have weighed your options, and you have decided that it would be best for you to just keep moving forward. We tend to get stuck in the past sometimes, Taurus, and we reflect on the things that maybe didn't go as we wanted them to go. But nonetheless, you've learned some lessons. This wasn't for nothing. Like I said, a lot of emotions and love went into the situation. So these types of situations are never for nothing, Taurus. So I don't want you to feel like any time was wasted. I really think a lot of love went into both sides of the situation. For whatever reason, your reasons, it just didn't work. But I think you are finally okay with that, because if you weren't okay with that, this card would be in the reverse position. If it showed up reversed, that would mean you are not ready to close this cycle out. But since it's in the upright position, this tells me that you are ready to move ahead. It's completely closed out. Now, if this was a marriage, you could have gone through a divorce, or you are currently dealing with divorce proceedings, or, if this was just a commitment of some kind, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, or boyfriend. You have acknowledged what it was. I think you are thankful in many ways for this relationship as well, but you are deciding to close this cycle out completely, which is good. Letting go and moving ahead is really healthy for anybody, Taurus, so that's really good. The overall card I pulled was the King of Swords. It's in the upright position. And the King of Swords can tend to be less emotional. Swords indicate tone. It sometimes can indicate harsh conversations. But if you look really closely at this guy's face, these are my Golden Girl Tarot cards, by the way. I love them. He looks really, emotionless. I don't even think that's a word. But he holds his emotions at bay. He looks really like stone cold, right? But deep down inside, he has a lot of emotion. He just tends to hide it with his sword. It's basically a front, Taurus. Don't think for a second. Now, I don't know if this is your energy or it could be someone you're dealing with. Don't think for a moment that they don't have emotion towards the situation. They do. This right here is a front, because this dude's face looks really soft to me, right? So, but regardless of the illustration on the card, I'm just really picking up on a strong defense mechanism from this person. They tend to sit in their power. They tend to say what they say. And, I think they speak before their thoughts, register with what they're saying. So they can tend to be harsh and seem like they're not compassionate. But this person deep down inside has emotions. They have love. It's a defense mechanism. So don't be fooled, Taurus. This person may act like they're not affected, but they are. Deep down inside, they are. This is just a defense because I think this person doesn't like to feel vulnerable in any type of situation. All right, so I wanted to pull some clarification cards. First card I have is my courthouse card. And again, this can mean many things, Taurus. This could be divorce or separation proceedings. This could also be, in many ways, I would like to say this could be universal decision making or judgments. It could be, the universe, has a judgment within any situation that we are, that we get ourselves in. So this could be universal law in a sense, or it could be physical law in a sense. You know your story, Taurus. And my next card is the Coffin card. And this pulled up underneath my Two of Swords. So again, this tells me that you're no longer confused about the situation. You're putting it to rest, okay? I don't want anyone out there to think the Coffin card means literal death. It doesn't. Not in this situation, it does not. It just means death to the old. Closing out the cycle of what was. You're putting it into that. And I really feel like you are at peace with the situation now. I think it took some time, but overall you are ending imprisonment thoughts. You're ending this, Taurus. You're no longer trapped in your mind. You're no longer, stuck in your head, going back and forth, thinking things over and over and over. You're killing this. You're putting it into this because thoughts like this are not healthy for anybody. They can cause depression. They can, weigh you down. It's a really heavy energy, but you're no longer doing this anymore. So good job. Good for you, Taurus. All right, and I wanted to pull some advice for you. So this is Spirit's advice, Taurus. It says, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So, and as you can see, there is a woman in a wedding dress, but more importantly, ask your loved ones, your friends, your family, if you ever need advice, if you need to talk to someone, it's always good to reach out to the ones who care and support you. Never forget that you have support, you have backing. So, if you ever need advice, if you ever need to discuss what you're going through, it's good to talk, Taurus. Don't cut the people who care about you out of your life. It's really healthy to talk about things and also, have a good time with your friends and your family right now. Do what makes you happy, Taurus. But more importantly, keep those lines of communication open with your friends and family at this time. Next card I have is Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine, right? So get back in touch with your inner child, Taurus. Do the things that make you happy. It's really time to get to know yourself again. Enjoy the things that you once enjoyed. Get in touch with your youth. You know, if you have hobbies, if you like to do things, you know, now is the time to explore what makes you happy, Taurus. So, and overall, I have authority, which is a 10, which again, 10 means closing of cycles. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So this is you, you know, knowing what is best for you, Taurus. You know your worth, and you've made your decisions, and now it's time to live in your truth, you know. And you know, authority holds power, but it's very important to always be loving and compassionate. Don't lose that. Regardless of the situations that have come to play, you know, don't remain in a harsh stance. Try to remember love. Try to remember forgiveness and compassion. Use those tools to help you grow, Taurus. And overall,